Hey guys, how are we all? We all know what it is this weekend. To be honest with you, absolutely dreading it. Really not looking forward to this game. It could potentially be a weekend ruiner. 12:30 p.m. kickoff at Old Trafford on a Saturday lunchtime. I mean, it has the potential to ruin my whole weekend, my whole week. I've got my mate's birthday, it's 22nd in the evening, so that could potentially be catastrophic if we lose this game. And I'm sincerely hoping that tomorrow, Friday, goes incredibly slowly because I'm really dreading this game at Old Trafford. But maybe I'm being a bit too pessimistic heading into this game. We come up against Jose Mourinho's Manchester United side that have been given the 150 million pounds or whatever they spent in the summer, that massive investment, almost 200 million, I think it was. They have been bang average. At times, they've actually been quite poor for the financial assets that they've got in their side. Paul Pogba coming into the team over the summer. I don't need to list out the players that they brought in, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic, of course, is suspended for this game, which I think will actually play into their hands. But they've also got Paul Pogba, who they brought in for £90 million. And people look at that fee and I mean, realistically, is Paul Pogba worth £90 million? No, he's probably worth in the region of about, at most, 40 to 50 million. But they're paying for a brand with Paul Pogba. He's a player that has got so many assets alongside him in terms of a brand. He's got clothing that he can sell. They're going to sell so many shirts with his name on. You see, the minute that he got announced at United, he was doing a video with Stormzy. So that's the kind of financial gain that Paul Pogba can bring to Manchester United. It's not just a player that they're paying for, it's what he comes with as well. So I think people read a bit too much into that. But at the same time, he's scored some fantastic goals for United this season. There's no getting around that. But is he a player that's been as dynamic and as exciting as Manchester United fans would have hoped? No, he definitely hasn't been. In fact, there have been some games where he's been very, very poor. Chelsea away from home, he was non-existent in that game. Man United got turned over by 4-0. Horrific return to Stamford Bridge for manager Jose Mourinho. And of course, the thing with this game is Mourinho against Wenger. I don't want to pay any attention to that whatsoever because we've got to be beating this Manchester United side. If they had Mourinho in charge, if they had Guardiola in charge, it makes no difference to me. It shouldn't play into their hands whatsoever. This is a poor Manchester United side that we come up against, and I wouldn't take any notice of that 3-1 win that they got recently away from home at Swansea. I think Swansea are playing some abysmal football this season. Anyone can beat them at the moment. And as I say, we've got to go to Old Trafford, and we've got to get rid of this hoodoo that's been going on there. We've picked up 2 points in a decade there. It's shocking. But we have proven that we can go to Old Trafford and win. Danny Welbeck getting that goal just a couple of seasons ago, just 2 years ago now. It was unbelievable, that game. I think it was just a year ago actually. What was it? 24? Yeah, it was 2014-15. Unbelievable game that. And I'm delighted to have been at the game myself to see Danny Welbeck score that goal on his Old Trafford return. Last season, I don't need to remind you what happened. Marcus Rashford, 18-year-old Marcus Rashford running the show against us. That was an absolutely horrendous game. And I think Marcus Rashford, whilst I'm on the topic of him, is going to be the biggest player for Manchester United in this game. In my opinion, it's a big statement, but 19-year-old Marcus Rashford, I think, is Manchester United's best player if played in that striking role. What Mourinho's been doing a lot this season to accommodate Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been playing Martial and Rashford on the flanks, and they're two players that when they first came to United, when they first came on the scene, strikers, out and out strikers, definitely number 9s, but the thing is they've got a bit of pace about them so they can provide an outlet on the flank. Martial, for me this season, he was electric last season. This campaign has been pretty average at times, hasn't set the world alight in the way he did when he first came onto the scene at Man United. Marcus Rashford has done some very good things on the right hand side for United, but I think he'd be so much more prolific if he was to play through that striking role, where I think he's going to play on a Saturday, and you can almost guarantee that he's going to get a goal in that game in the way that he did at Old Trafford last season. So he's going to be a definite threat for us. With Mustafi and Koscielny at the back, I'd hope they'd be able to deal with him. But yeah, I'm not too concerned about United apart from Marcus Rashford. He's the only player that seriously worries me in this game. I think our midfield should be able to cope with the threat of Paul Pogba, if there even is a threat, if he turns up for this game. And I think we should be able to cope with, I think it'll be Marcus Rashford, Martial, Mata and Lingard potentially that will lead the line for Man United in this game, given that they haven't got Zlatan in the team. So I think we should be able to cope with that at the back. Of course, we haven't got Hector Bellerin, and although that's a big loss defensively, I think it's a massive, massive, massive loss going forward. Not just for this game, but for future ones as well. The outlet he offers on that right-hand side, the way he's been linking up with Theo Walcott this season has been absolutely tremendous. Fantastic player for us and is so beneficial and so integral to our attacking play down the flanks. I think he's going to be a sore miss. He does things that, I highly rate Carl Jenkinson, but I don't think he's going to be able to do the sort of things that Hector Bellerin does. He's his own player, Hector Bellerin. He can't be compared to anyone. Absolute superb player, and for me, the best right back in the Premier League. So we're definitely going to miss him for this coming month. But I'm assuming that Carl Jenkinson will come in. And in the 2 games he's played, Jenkinson's been fine. He's been more than capable, but they've been against Reading and Ludogorets. And it's a big step up going into this game at Old Trafford and then following that PSG at home. So 2 massive steps up for Jenkinson. If he is to start at right back, we could potentially see Mustafi play at right back and bring in Gabriel, but I don't really want to see our centre-back partnership mixed up too much. We could even see Francis Coquelin play at right back, but for me, that's treading water. I don't think that's a particularly good idea if we're gonna play Coquelin. Now, I think he's capable, but we've got an out-and-out right back in Jenkinson. For me, it makes sense to play him there. There's no point disrupting our centre-back partnership or playing Francis Coquelin there, which we haven't seen him play at fullback for quite some time now. So for me, it's got to be Jenkinson at right back. The team in full, I've been debating it over and over in my head for the past 2 weeks now. Will Alexis Sanchez played 86 minutes against Uruguay for Chile. I don't know if he'll start this game, whether we're going to risk aggravating his hamstring injury, I don't know. But he scored 2 goals in that game, had a fantastic performance. Will he play against United? It feels like we're coming up to that point in November where this time last year we lost Cazorla, we lost Alexis, we lost Coquelin, and just everything fell apart. We can't risk losing Alexis, but I think play him. If we're 2-0 up and the game's essentially won, then take him off. I think we're in such a position where we've kind of got to play him unless we play Olivier Giroud. But I honestly don't know. I think the team that I want to see start this game has got to be Petr Cech in goal, Jenkinson at right back, Koscielny, Mustafi, Monreal, Xhaka, Ramsey, Walcott, who could potentially miss the game because his wife is going to give birth to his son or daughter imminently, which is just very inconvenient. If that son cares at all for Arsenal or daughter, gotta stop being so sexist. Just assuming that it's a guy that Theo Walcott's having. If that kid cares at all for Arsenal, he won't pop out of Theo Walcott's wife until next week. Let's hope that's the case. Ozil at centre attacking mid, left wing. I think I've got to go with Alexis Sanchez if he's fitted and up top Olivier Giroud. I think given the way Iwobi played against Tottenham, it's going to be difficult to see him getting a starting berth in this game at Old Trafford. I think we'll be a lot more dangerous if we start with Walcott, Giroud and Alexis. There's so many goals in that front three potentially. And then we've got the option of someone like Alex Iwobi off the bench. We've got the option of someone like Oxlade-Chamberlain. Regarding that midfield pivot, because I know that's something that's been debated so heavily, do I want to see Xhaka and Coquelin start? Not really, considering that's, in my opinion, too defensively minded for a game where we've got to be going for the win. With Ramsey, he is unbelievably frustrating at times, but I thought he was okay for the time that he played in the North London derby. I think he's got that drive, that determination that we need in a game like this. You just don't want to see him get into a position where he's got a chance to play the ball through and then just has a shot which goes miles wide from about 35 yards out. I don't want to see such rash thinking from Aaron Ramsey in this game. We need cool heads, we need leaders on the pitch, and I think that Ramsey Xhaka should be able to cope with a game of this magnitude. That's my team in full. Get your team lineups in the comments box below. Massive game, as I say, potential weekend ruiner, but at the same time it could be an absolutely fabulous weekend if we can get a convincing win of 3 points at Old Trafford. But sadly, I'm not going into this game filled with a lot of confidence. Anyway, guys, as I say, get your team lineups and your thoughts in the comments box below. Let me know your score predictions. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 2-0 to the Arsenal. Please do drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll speak to you soon.